Thurgood Marshall was born July 2, 1908 in Baltimore, Maryland. Thurgood Marshall was the grandson of a slave. Bettering himself through his education, Thurgood Marshall graduated from Frederick Douglass High. He attended college at the Lincoln University in Chester County, Pennsylvania. Justice and equality were important to the Marshall household. Rights were not taken lightly. Marshall applied to the University of Maryland Law School, but was denied because of his color. He was outraged. He applied to the Howard University Law School and was accepted. After graduating as a lawyer, he sued Maryland Law School, not for himself, but for another young man denied entry because he was African American. Marshall was applauded for winning this case. As a lawyer, Thurgood Marshall worked for the NAACP. He was their chief counsel from 1938 to 1961. He argued more than a dozen cases before the U.S. Supreme Court. He successfully challenged racial segregation. His most notable case was Brown versus Board of Education of Topeka, in which the Supreme Court ruled that segregation violated the Equal Rights Clause of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution and thus was illegal. The decision served as a great impetus for the civil rights movement and ultimately led to the abolishment of segregation in all public facilities and accommodations. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy appointed Marshall to the U.S. Court of Appeals, but the Southern senators opposed the nomination. It took a year until he was confirmed. In 1965, President Lyndon Johnson appointed Marshall to be the Solicitor of the United States. In this position, he argued cases on behalf of the United States government. On June 13, 1967, he was nominated to fill the seat of retiring Supreme Court Justice Tom Clark. Of this decision to appoint Marshall, Johnson said it was the right thing to do, the right time to do it, the right man, and the right place. During 24 years on the High Court, Associate Justice Marshall consistently challenged discrimination, opposed the death penalty, defended affirmative action, supported rights of criminal defendants, and defended the right to privacy. As politics in the White House changed and Republican conservative presidents controlled, the ideology of the Supreme Court changed, and Marshall found his liberal views increasingly in the minority. In 1991, he retired from the court because of declining health. In 1993, he died.